So this idea of a 30-second intro brings terror into the heart of a lot of people, and we'll get to some ways to make it a lot easier in just a sec here. And we'll play, if you're interested and somebody wants to kind of work on their intro, I'm happy to do that with you. We do a lot of this kind of pitch improvement work with our clients, and it's really important. When you have a 30-second intro opportunity, it's usually something where all of a sudden you find out that you're able to stand up and introduce what you're doing, and you go, holy crap, what do I do now? We're going to work today to get you out of the holy crap moment of it and into the, oh my God, that's awesome, I know exactly what to say kind of experience. Before we do that, I just want to let everybody know, because we do have new people on today's show, that I'm Amy Winslow, and our company Products to Profits is a consulting agency that specializes in moving people just like you from the early stages of a product across the Grand Canyon-sized gap all the way to actually making sales and having a sustainable business. And we specialize in working with consumer products, so things that people are going to buy and that large corporations would buy. So that gives you a little bit of our landscape. And the call today, this show, is something we've been doing live for about 6 years now, I think. And we have hundreds of people on this list. There's about 750, I think, is the number we're pushing right now. I'd love to have more people tuning into the show and getting the information so that we can serve the most people from this. So feel free to share it out, connect people to us, and we'll put a link in the comments below on Facebook to let people know how they can get the reminders and find out our topics. This idea of a 30-second intro, I know we've got people calling in from all around the United States. We have people, looks like somebody from overseas may have just joined us. So this idea of a 30-second intro is actually universal. And one of the things that I really want to share is that you're going to do 30 seconds, which sounds short, and it is. However, you can actually make it really impactful. So for any of you that heard my intro at the beginning, that was a slight variation on our 30-second intro. We used several elements in there that make it really approachable and understandable for people. And so let's break it down, okay? A 30-second intro can also be called an elevator pitch. So if you ever hear somebody say, well, give me your elevator pitch, they mean take about 30 seconds to give them the lead-in part of why they should listen to you and what's happening, okay? Now, a 30-second intro should be memorable. I like to also include something visual or that has an energy to it, because it'll make it help be memorable, right? And usually you want to include a benefit to the audience that you're in front of. That can sound a bunch of different ways, and you're going to end up tailoring your intro to different audiences as you go. When you get really proficient with this, it's important to kind of make the distinction, because what you would say to investors is not necessarily what you would say to end consumers, right? To people that are going to buy your product. Tailoring it to your audience can be very important. So you want to have a good basic one that's kind of your go-to, right? And then you can do what are called riffs if you're a jazz improvisation person. For everybody who's listening to this, one thing I want to say is you have a unique thing going on, and that is you have to decide if your show is going to be about you, or it's going to be about your product, or it's going to be about a blend of the two. And the reason I say that is some people, when they get a chance to talk about their product, will just go on and on about their product, right? But we do business with people we know, like, and trust. So that means that you actually need to give me a sense of who you are behind the product. So it's usually best if you can do a little bit of both. So I'm happy to go over that with somebody while we are going through here. I think that it's really important for you to understand this distinction of, is it about you or is it about your product? Okay. You also want to decide if you can use anything that's visual. In mine, I almost always use the phrase Grand Canyon-sized gap, right? Because everybody knows how big the Grand Canyon is. So when I say Grand Canyon-sized gap, it's like, oh, that gap is really big between early stage prototype and sustainable business. Oh, I didn't realize that there's a big gap there. So maybe I should get some help. When you use elements of what people already know or that are strongly visual or experiential, then it gives them something to kind of hang their hat on to remember or feel something in a very short amount of time. My friend Helen uses the phrase before they take a dirt nap in hers, because she's all about booking travel for people. And she says, you know, I'm a travel concierge. I help people cross off their bucket list before they take a dirt nap. So it's very, very memorable, right? So using elements of what people already know or an interesting turn of phrase or a visual can help you a lot. Because notice, I'm actually able to speak my friend's intro, right? And she's actually able to speak mine because I've given her Grand Canyon-sized gap between early stage business and sustainable company for consumer products. All right. I want to know how many people that are listening, whether you're on Facebook. I see we've got a bunch of people tuning in over there, so type a comment below and let me know how many of you are interested in having a little bit of a workshop kind of conversation around your intro. So type that down below if you're on Facebook. And if you're on the phone and you want to discuss your intro or how you could possibly approach it, you can press *2, and that'll raise your hand to let me know that you're in for playing along. And then while we're at it, the webcast, you can just type it in there, and that'll let me know that you're interested as well. Now, before we launch into that, for everybody who's listening, there's a couple steps you can take that'll help make this easier if you've never done it before. I want you to just take a quick minute here, or a few seconds, and go, okay, what's the main benefit of my product, right? So the main benefit of my product, and think about how you came up with it. Like, what made it uniquely you that could come up with a solution to X problem, whatever the problem is, okay? Because sometimes you'll need to use your background, and other times it'll be all about the product, or it could be a blend, like I said. We're going to play a little word association to get ideas with everybody who does this live with me. We'll get a little bit of a play in here. Now, Facebook, it's going to be a little harder for you to actually give your pitch. So I want you to type it in the window if you're on Facebook. So type it in the comments below on Facebook, and we will send those out to people too. So you're going to keep it to 30 seconds, okay? So the ones that are on Facebook, I will read them so that everybody on the show can hear them. We do have a whole bunch of people tuning in today, so this is a great promo opportunity for anybody. And we are going to go over the phone lines first. So I see we've got somebody from, looks like Minnesota. The phone number ends in 8229. Hi there, who's this?
I'm sorry,
phone number
Jeff Chambers.
Hey, Jeff, awesome. I love that you called in. So you wanna give a crack at this 30-second intro piece?
Sure. My name's Jeff Chambers. I've been a certified athletic trainer for 35 years. I have a product that will slow down the helmeted head and the brain inside the same way an airbag keeps the body from flying around inside the car when it's hit.
Okay, awesome. So you let us know who you are, your background, and also what the product does. Do you want a little bit of input on this?
Yes, I forgot to tell you it was a neck collar.
Yeah, and who's it for, right?
For any, yes,
You know,
I got you.
So who's it for?
Initially, it's for football players. Eventually, for every activity that wears a helmet to protect the brain and the skull.
Okay. So you want to sexify this a little bit and make it a little more
Sure.
Memorable for people?
Sure.
Okay. So if you can add a statistic, that could be good. You could also say, did you know that X number of children will play a sport that requires a helmet before they graduate high school, right? So if your child is one of those, what we've invented is the Cato collar, and it actually lowers the incidence of concussion and brain injury because it lowers the speed, or, you can actually, depending on the audience, you may want to pull in the market and who it's for.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think of something like that?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, because you have the results that can say that it does that, right?
Yes, we do. 30%
Okay.
deceleration of the helmeted head.
Okay, so that's a really good phrase if you are talking to technical people, like physical therapists, right? If you're in front of an audience of parents, they're not necessarily going to know what that does, right?
Correct.
So you actually need to say it a little differently for different audiences, because you're going to have some technical people that are coaches, physical trainers, doctors, right?
Yes.
And then you have buyers at different stores potentially, or parents of different student athletes.
Correct.
Yeah. Try it again.
Okay. Thanks a lot. My name is Jeff Chambers. I'm a certified athletic trainer for 35 years, and I have a product called Cato Collar, which will slow down a helmeted head, therefore preventing injuries and the incidence of injuries to the brain and therefore concussions.
That's
I will
awesome.
show that's better, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to give it a try?
Yes.
You want to hear? Okay. Let me think for a sec. Hi, my name's Jeff Chambers, and before I tell you what we've got, how many of you have student athletes that have to wear a helmet on the playing field, right? And you get whatever response you get. Say, well, we have a really innovative, tested solution that actually lowers the speed when no, that won't work. It's too long. Hi, I'm Jeff Chambers, Cato Collar. You said 35 years?
Yep, 35
physical
years experience.
Training?
Yep.
In physical training,
trainer.
right?
Yeah, as an
Athletic
athletic trainer, provide health care for athletes.
Okay, so hi, I'm Jeff Chambers. From my 35 years background as a physical trainer for athletes, I noticed that there's some movement that happens with helmeted heads that really could be controlled in an innovative way. We came up with Cato Collar, and it's been proven to lower the speed of the helmet by X percentage, and that actually reduces concussion. Talk to me if you really think that keeping your child's brain intact is great.
Awesome.
I mean, I know that's really in your, it's really in your face. You know, it's like, oh.
Yeah. Well, it gets their attention.
But
it gets their attention.
I mean, and you can tone it down, but you get how it uses your background. It talks a little bit about the product, but mostly it's a call to action for them to get in touch with you.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Yes.
So this is at about 18 minutes in, and it's on the Facebook Live. Okay? So feel free to go over to Facebook on Products to Profit profile and find the recording and write that down if you want. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Put a link, when you're ready to, if you're ever interested in promoting it out, put a link in the comments to what you're doing too, okay?
Okay.
Cool. So, Jeff, was that helpful?
Yes, very helpful. Very much.
Awesome. So would you encourage anybody else who's listening who wants to play to say yes?
Yes. Say yes. You'll get new ideas. Because I've been working on an elevator pitch for about 5 years, and I just got several new ideas right there. So.
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
Who do you use your elevator pitch with?
Well, I was using my elevator pitch early on for investors. And now we will be using kind of our elevator pitch and how we frame what we're doing to how we go to market, because we're going to market in first quarter 2018. So we're starting to frame that out right now with our marketing people.
Got it. So some ideas for you about one for investors in case you need that in the future. You could say, hi, I'm Jeff Chambers from Cato Collar, and what we have is a unique opportunity for investors to make a difference in brain injury and concussions, because the Cato Collar lowers the speed of a helmeted head and picks up the speed of your portfolio for investing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because the benefit that the investor wants is upside on their investment.
Exactly.
So it's kind of cool that you could say it decelerates the helmet, which lowers brain injury, and it speeds up your investment portfolio, because we're going to rock the world.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You can't make an outright claim because of SEC compliance things. You can't guarantee
Correct.
the returns that you ever make. But there is something in there that you could play off the speed thing with both of them.
Yes, that's cool.
Cool?
Yep.
Yeah, and you can use, scientifically proven or, tested by such and such lab, that kind of thing, to add the weight and the credibility.
Right.
But I think you also have to keep in mind that most investors are also people. And, yours is going to do good while it's actually helping them, too.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to do that so that everybody...
I'm sorry. So you're
ahead.
bringing in, you're kind of speaking to their emotions, that they're going to be doing something to really help people.
Yeah, to help people, but it's also going to help them.
Right.
It's going to help their investment portfolio. Proven team, committed, like that. And
right.
When you're in second or third rounds of funding and you've already successfully funded, that goes a long way too. When you say you're doing a Series A or something like that, that means that, or you use the phrase, we're looking for follow-on investment from blah, blah, blah. Because that means that, there's other investors already in, so you're safer. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So we can definitely work on this. I know that you and I need to follow up and have a conversation, but I think this is really good, and I'm so glad that you jumped on and were willing to do this today, because I think it's important for people to hear how it fits different audiences even. So you're a great example. And for everybody who's listening, the Cato Collar is spelled with a K, so it's, how do they spell it if they were going to go find it somewhere?
KATOCOLLAR. Our website will be up probably in about 3 weeks. So
awesome.
That's where you can find it.
Got it. And you're that coaches show, right?
Pardon?
You're going to an event in January with the coaches,
yes.
right?
Yeah, American Football Coaches Association. Yep.
Got it. think through that audience and do your intro that you would use with them too, because you're going to need it a lot there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We could definitely do a little bit on that when we're doing some work together, because that is such a great opportunity for you, and you're going to need it, and you're going to need it to be really memorable for them. Okay? Because what happens for everybody who's listening, here's the key thing. I alluded to this when I was talking about my friend's pitch and my pitch, right? The best pitches can actually be spoken by somebody else for you, right? So the best elevator pitch is the one that is so memorable that it sticks in somebody else's brain to the point where they can use it when they introduce you to somebody else. Right? Like, that's the test of when it's really good. Cool?
Correct. That's what we're working on, is that each one of us sends the same message no matter which one of us is talking.
Yeah, it can be the same message, but you might have slightly different pieces of personal input that you drop in. You know, like 3 words about different background, something like that. So that it's authentic and it doesn't sound canned, even though the core of it is, the foundation is all the same. That's where you want to get to, okay?
Yep.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, Jeff, you're welcome. I'm going to mute your line for your privacy, Jeff, and we're going to open up. Let me go over to our Facebook and see if anybody there has typed a comment. So if you're on Facebook, type it below, and I'll actually read your intro for you. And you can give me your main benefits of your product or the main pieces of your background. I know quite a few of the people that pop on our Facebooks, so I can definitely work with you that way. So type in the comments right below. Now, on the phone lines, we have one more person out of, I think this is Doris. So the phone number ends in 5577. Hey, Doris, is that you?
Yes, that's me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you beautifully, darling. So you want to do your do you want to do your pitch?
Okay, let me do it the way I listened to how you did it with this guy first. Can I go?
Sure, bring it on.
My name is Doris. I'm a third-generation healer, and I wanted to ask you, what do you ever get stressed? I have this awesome 2 products that help you remove the stress out of your life, and they're made from flowers.
Awesome. Awesome. So who would you use that with? Who's the audience? Like just a general, you're out at a meeting and you got a chance, or what?
You know, I have different audiences. I have people who have pets who tell me their dogs or cats are aggressive, so I recommend it to them. I have children who say they're afraid of the dark, they see monsters, so I ask the moms to give the spray to the kids, and they say, oh, that took care of the monster. And I have people in the corporate world who have stressful jobs, and they just need something to help them remove that little edge. So I'm not sure who to target here.
I think that your intro can be about you a bit, and it can also be about flowers. Now, since you're talking about flowers, there's something kind of interesting. You know, there's some studies that you can find. I don't know where, but I would Google this and look for some studies about what happens to people's heart rate when they look at beautiful things, right? Because that's naturally soothing, right? And you want me to give it a try here and give you a couple ideas?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please, I'm honored. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let me think for a second here. I've got the seed of an idea. So you and I both use intuition a lot. So let me just check in, okay?
I love working with you.
Oh, thank you. And for everybody who's listening, Doris is actually a client of ours, and we've had some really great conversations because of how we work in projects. So let me check in. Hi, I'm Doris Muna. I'm the creator of Dorothea Essences, and what we've done is we've taken the experience of looking at a beautiful flower and how calming that is, and we've made it into something that you can bring into your body and use to lower all the stressful, jagged edges of your life so that you can unfold into the best version of yourself.
Oh, that's perfect.
So, I mean, you can kind of get the feel there because we're talking a little bit about unfolding.
Yes.
And we're talking a little bit about some science. You can add some more. We've taken the restful experience of looking at a flower and created 2 products that let you feel that from the inside out, no matter what the stress is that you're going through.
Actually, you hit it right on, because one product is to take internally a few drops in your coffee or tea, and one you spray your pillow or your office desk or chair or something like that.
Yeah, so that recording is at 30 minutes into the Facebook Live, okay?
Okay.
So that's
Thank
where
you.
it is. You can find it. Sure, you can find it over on our Facebook page. We will take this and put it over on our blog as well. It just usually takes us a few days to do it, and the Facebook Live will be up immediately.
Fantastic. So I'll re-listen to it, yes.
Yeah, so I think for you, there's something about the science of it lowering your heart rates by X percentage or adrenaline response by a certain percentage so that you have a little bit of it, right? Because I think that one of your challenges or things to be aware of, it's not so much a challenge, but is how can you lower the woo-woo of it while keeping the magic of it? You know what I mean?
Yes. It is.
And trust me, I
true.
say woo-woo with all respect. I love me some good woo. But there's going to be people that really should use your product because Doris has amazing products. Her bath scrub is off the charts awesome. It smells beautiful, but it actually is very soothing. I've used it, and it's awesome. So there are people that should use it that need to have a little more science behind it. Okay?
Yes. Especially the corporate. They like to know maybe. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bless you.
You're welcome. I'm always glad to hear your voice. So I'm going to mute your line for your privacy, Doris, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so for anybody who's still on the phone lines, which I see we have a bunch, if you want some support and some help with yours, you can press *2. That'll raise your hand. And over on Facebook, we've got a bunch of people who've typed in comments. I love it. So let's see. We have Marie Manville. So I'm going to read Marie's. Hello, my name is Marie Manville. I have patented product ideas for manufacturers to help their customers know which side of the cord or chain to pull when opening or closing their window coverings. Let me know if your customers could use a product like this that you can add to your manufacturing processes. Awesome. Okay, and here's another version. So, hi, I am Marie Manville. I have a product for window coverings that stores extra chain and cord to prevent child strangulation. My patented products also indicate to consumers which side of the cord or chain to pull when opening or closing the blinds. This decreases liability to your clients. Do you think your clients could benefit from this idea? Okay, so Marie, those are both good if you're talking to somebody who has clients, right? And I think that you need something that's a little more visual, right? Or more experiential, because everybody has fumbled around with drapery cords or has had to baby-proof a house. what you're doing is you make it easy to baby-proof drapery cords. You also make it that they can stop fumbling around so much and just do it really simply, really quickly. You know, we eliminate the fumbling around with the drapery cords so that you can get onto your day really fast and easily, right? If you're talking to somebody who's actually going to purchase it. Or if you're talking about the baby one, you know, our product stores the extra chain and cord, and it helps prevent baby strangulation. So if you're really looking to baby-proof your home, you really have to have this, right? So I think the phrase baby-proofing is a really good one with the child strangulation, because people go through that. They know what baby-proofing is. Baby-proofing is eliminating hazards, okay? I would use that phrase because it's in the listening of your consumer. And it's also in the listening of buyers. So if you were selling to, say, Bye Bye Baby or Babies R Us or anything like that, they understand baby proofing and they talk about it that way too, right? So I would use that phrase. So I hope that helps you. And then our next one, we've got Heather Walvis Marvin. Hi, I'm Heather Marvin, and my husband and I have 5 kids between us. We found that things like the TV remote, phone, keys, money, homework, etc. were coming up missing and were usually found in the couch by sticking your hand where it really wasn't meant to go. We came up with a kit that discreetly fits under the cushions of your couch so that you no longer have to stick your hand where it shouldn't be. Heather, I think you could add a little fun here with this one. We came up with a kit that discreetly fits under the cushions of your couch so that you don't run the risk of your couch eating your arm anymore. Right? Like, I think you can use that because that's such a great visual of getting stuck, getting your arm stuck in the couch, right? And everybody's had to kind of reach down there and your hand never quite gets where you want it to go and all that stuff. So I would think that make it a little more visual, okay? Because right now, yours is giving people the image of their hand going down pants or something. So I would make it more specific so that you avoid the risk of your hand and arm getting trapped in the couch. Or I really like this idea of your couch eating your arm, right? Like something like that. Let me read the second version here. So, oh, you're welcome, Heather. Here's the second one. Hi, I'm Heather Marvin, and my husband and I have 5 kids between us. Have you ever lost anything in your couch? Well, I'm going to change this a little bit. I'll give it to everybody the way that you wrote it, and then I'm going to change it a little bit. Hi, I'm Heather Marvin, and my husband and I have 5 kids between us. Have you ever lost anything in your couch? We found that things like the TV remote, phone, keys, money, homework, etc. were coming up missing, and they were usually found in the couch, mostly by sticking your hand where it really wasn't meant to go. We came up with a kit that discreetly fits under the cushions of your couch so that you no longer have to stick your hand where it shouldn't be. So I would make a little bit of a bridge in the front part of this. Hi, I'm Heather Marvin, and my husband and I have 5 kids between us. With that many kids, there's always something coming up missing, whether it's the remote, the keys, the homework, and it leads to a lot of running around trying to find things. Usually, it's found in the sofa. Everybody's had the moment where the sofa has eaten an item and you've got to fish it out. What we've developed is a kit that fits discreetly under the sofa so you don't have to go fishing in your couch every time you lose something. Right? You can do something like that too. So there's a bunch of different versions here. So if you're on Facebook and you want some support, type it in the comments. I'll take one more from the phones if anybody's over there. So on the phone, press *2 and that'll raise your hand. And I'm going to go over to our webcast and see what we've got going on our Q&A there. Okay. Somebody's asking about Bye Bye Baby or for which other client? You can use intros for a lot of different audiences. So if you are going to do something for Bye Bye Baby and you wanted to have an intro that's good there, you can actually craft one. This is kind of a unique thing about 30-second intros. 30-second intros can be used when you stand up at a meeting, or they can also be used when you're leaving a phone message, okay? So the kernel of it stays the same, but the exact language may change. If you were talking to Bye Bye Baby or some other buyers like that from a large retail chain, and they hadn't seen your product yet, your pitch might be a little different than if they've seen it at a show. And your voicemail might be a little bit different. So I'm happy to talk a little bit more about that if it's of use to anybody here. So on the phone lines, it looks like phone lines are clear. Awesome. And over on Facebook, we're also clear. So with that, everybody, I want to just take a moment and wish you all the best Thanksgiving if you're in the United States. And for all of you who are listening, know that one of the things that we are most grateful for is for you. We love producing the show and working with all of our clients and everybody that we get to talk with. So with that, know that you're in our thoughts and prayers this weekend, and I'm wishing you the best week. Talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.